Alexandrina Sebastiane is the best 5-star S-rank support in Sender Zone Zero. But Hako, she's the only support. Shit. Well, Alexandrina Sebastiane is still a very, very freaking good support. She might be the only S-rank support we have, but there is a reason because no one quite could come close to Rina. Now, Rina is an amazing character, although she isn't as straightforward, and she's the character I've encountered the most people, like, they pull her and they're kind of disappointed. They're like, oh, I wanted Nekomata. But then I sit down with them and I actually explain them and make them see the value of Alexandrina, and I think I made a lot of people more happy that I pulled her, and perhaps I can do the same to you, because Rina is absolutely freaking amazing. Now let's get into why she's so amazing. My name is Hako and welcome into the channel. So first off, let's go over Rina's skills. Now what makes Rina so freaking amazing is her core skill. Core skill, mini destruction partner. And the thing with Rina is that it's kind of hard to see her value up front, almost, if that makes sense. Like, you don't necessarily notice your carry doing 14,000 damage instead of 10,000. Like, you have to really pay attention to numbers to see these things. But core passive mini destruction partner. When ordering Drusilla or Anastella to attack, and those are her little dolls, and I have a fun little tidbit about her dolls in just a minute. So when ordering Drusilla or Anastella to attack, other squad members' pen ratio increases together with Rina's by 25% of Rina's pen ratio plus 10.2% up to 30%. So if Rina has 100 pen ratio, she gives 25 to her teammates at this current level, plus 10.2% up to a maximum of 30% pen being passed down. The effect ends when both Drusilla and Anastella return to Rina. Now, mastering this core skill, and mastering having your dolls out, is Rina's bread and butter, and going from understanding how you do that to from not understanding is gonna be the entire game changer in this. And additional ability, Banquet of Perfection. When another character in your squad shares the same attribute or faction, increase the duration of shock inflicted on enemies by a character by 3 seconds. When shocked enemies are on the field, all squad members' electric damage increase by 10%. Now this is really freaking good in an electric team. Having an extra 3 seconds of enemies in shock is absolutely bananas. It is amazing, and it works wonders in a disorder team as well. If you watched my previous guide on disorder, you know that the longer duration an enemy has to left of their status when disorder triggers, the more damage they will take. This is absolutely freaking amazing and nothing to scoff at all. So I told you I had a fun little tidbit about her dolls. Now, when I first started playing, Rina was one of my first 5-stars, and I don't know, I kind of thought that they were the 2 deceased spirits of her long-lost kids or whatever. But no, turns out they're just Bangboos. They're just 2 Bangboos, and they're freaking adorable. I'm not sure who is Drusilla and who is Anastella. I'm sorry, I won't be covering that. Now, her core skill enhancement. In 1 level increases her pen ratio, and 1 level increases her base attack, and those will alternate between each other. Now, pen ratio is Rina's best stat, so anything that increases that is going to be high value on Rina. And also it increases the pen ratio that you give down to your team, so her core skill enhancement is a very freaking good to have. Now, when it comes down to her skills, it's kind of straightforward. Her basic attack is a very useful skill, although you might not want to be leveling it. Rina doesn't require much investment. The most bang for the buck you will get by leveling up the core skills. But her basic attack is what you will use primarily to get her dolls out. 1 basic attack swing with Rina and her dolls will stay out for, I think they stay out for around 5 seconds. I'll do a proper count and put it on screen. Her dodge, normal dodge, doesn't need much investment. Her assist, her assist can be pretty decent. So like Rina shines in a team that cycles through the characters quickly. So with other characters that also like triggers a quick assist, etc., or is proficient at breaking the enemies, you can do quick assists. That's gonna help you out a lot in Rina team. Now her special attack is pretty straightforward, and it's an electric shock, several electric shocks coming down on the enemy. It's quite a decent one. It's quite good at building up anomaly, electric anomaly build up. And her ultimate is interesting, and usually in a team you have like one character doing the ultimate. Yeah, like you have one designated ultimator, and for a lot of times, like I find myself actually using Rina's ult. One, it keeps the dolls on the field for quite some time, and it regenerates energy for the entire team. So when decibel rating is at maximum, you press the alt button, you order Drusilla and Anastella, which are the dolls, to spin forward, dealing massive electric damage. They will basically like carry a big ball of electricity and push it forward. During this skill, Drusilla and Anastella are unable to respond to basic attack, dash attack, special attack, or EX special attack, which basically means your dolls are preoccupied, so you can't tell them to do anything else while this skill is being played out. But you can recall them to your side through basic attack Shoot the Fool, and Shoot the Fool is if you hold the button, then your dolls will come back to you, although I've never found an instance where I'm like, please dolls come back, really. It's better to have them out in the field and like switch character. And upon activating this skill, the other squad members recover 10 energy, the next character to switch in recovers an additional 20 energy. Now, what's really freaking special about Rina is that almost all of her stuff will trigger a switch to the next character. So she actually requires a little bit of team building to like who should be the character doing the follow-up. Maybe there is a character that like benefits a lot from it. Me personally, if I run them with Ellen, for example, I usually put Ellen behind Rina so that when Rina's skills hit, it will be Ellen's turn, and Ellen has a very easy time getting into a roaming state after she's like quick switched in from Rina. So when Rina's EX special attack hits an enemy, a quick assist will be triggered, same with the ultimate, and this will happen a lot. Like Rina will have very little screen time. She mostly like comes in, just does an attack, a basic attack, an EX attack, or sometimes an ultimate, and then she yeets out. Leveling order priority in this should be special attack and maybe chain attack. And yeah, her chain attack is your standard thing. She comes in, she does an attack that also leaves the dolls out. And when Rina gets like triggered in with a quick assist and she does her attack, that will put her dolls out on the field. Now, the key to mastering Rina is having the dolls on the field as much as humanly possible, especially when you are about to do a cool move with another character. Say that you are about to do an ultimate with Grace. You want to make sure that the dolls are out so that Grace will get the pen ratio from Rina's core skill. As for Rina's builds with her discs, you have some options. I personally choose to go 4-piece swing jazz, and it gives Rina energy regen. With more energy regen, she can do her EX attack more times, and the EX attack is good, especially good on triggering quick assists. Now you get energy regen, and at 4 pieces, launching a chain attack or ultimate increases all squad members' damage by 15% for 12 seconds. Now this is really freaking good, because when you break an enemy, you will have a series of attacks that goes in. You can cycle between your entire team, and usually you end up on the character that you want to do your ultimate with. Or that's actually at least how you should do it. Now, having that character be buffed by 15% damage-wise from Rina rocking the swing jazz is, in my opinion, unbeatable. You can, and I like to top it off with a 2-piece Puffer Electro, which gives Rina pen ratio by 8%. Now remember, pen ratio is your most valued stat on Rina. Other options would perhaps be... I wouldn't recommend going anything else. You can go Thunder Metal to like increase Rina's own damage somewhat. Like, it is a viable option. I personally wouldn't run it. She's more of a support. There are certain builds you can do to like run it as a main DPS, but no, don't. There are much better options, and a lot of their value is lost. But you could run a 4-piece fundamental with a 2-piece Puffer Electro. Yeah, I would keep the Puffer Electro on. You really want the 8% buff. I wouldn't really say that the 4-piece for Puffer Electro is good for Rina. Maybe if you're trying to do her like somewhat of a carry away. If you're under support, as you kind of should be doing, the ultimate damage by 20% is a little bit wasted, and increasing your own damage by 15%, yeah, don't. 4-piece swing ass, 2-piece Puffer Electro, no need to complicate it. That's gonna be your most bang for the buck. You could get away with running Freedom Blues, but it will have a lesser effect than running swing gas. But Freedom Blues 4-piece is also an option with then a 2-piece Puffer Electro. Now for Rina's W engines, you have some options. I've been a lucky little sausage and I managed to pull Weeping Cradle, which is her S rank signature one. Now Weeping Cradle is amazing. It has pen ratio as the advanced stat or main stat, and it's just tailor-made for Rina. Now everybody is not gonna have been as lucky having pulled this. So what are your options? There is Slice of Time, which also has pen ratio as the main stat. And hence, this is Rina's absolutely like best, or second best one, I should say. Slice of Time, the second best one, you can get it in the box galaxy on the 7th Street. And this basically helps with regenerating decibels for the entire team and energy. And decibel is what you use to cast your ultimate. And you will notice when you run Rina on a team, casting your ultimate becomes a lot more frequent. Something that people don't talk about enough when it comes to support characters is that all of their skills are actually like top tier when it comes to decibel generation, and Rina is no exception. Now, usually I tell you to absolutely ignore the 3-star ones, but if you desperately need the Mark II 3-star one, launching an EX special attack or chain attack increases all squad members' anomaly mastery and anomaly proficiency by 10 for 10 seconds. This is a viable one. It isn't bad. If you absolutely do not have another option, you can run this. You can also run Mark 1. You can also run Mark 3. If you have an anomaly team and go for Mark 2, you can also run Mark 3. I would advise against it and instead go for Slice of Time. It is very easy obtainable since you can get it in the store on the 7th Street. The Battle Pass one is kind of decent. It has energy regen as a base stat, which isn't bad at all, and when equipped attacks trigger an attribute counter effect, all squad members' crit ratio against the struck enemy increases by 12% for 12 seconds. This works. This works. Like it works. It's not her best one, but it definitely works. If you don't desperately need to go for anything else here, because there are almost every single freaking A-rank WN you can get here is good. If you don't feel like you need anyone else desperately, you can definitely get this one, and it's gonna serve Rina good. Now for Rina's cinemas. She doesn't need any cinemas to work. She's absolutely freaking amazing as she is, although Cinema 1 will help you out a ton. After being sent out to launch an attack, Drusilla and Anastella stay in place for an additional 5.5 seconds before returning to Rina. This is amazing. The buff gain for core passive melee destruction partner by character within 10 meters is increased to 130%. So this is actually really freaking bonkers. So this basically doubles the time that Rina and Drusilla are out on the field. And you will notice that they disappear quite quick. As it is base kit, so like having this one is a massive increase in value. Also, any of your other characters in a 10-meter radius, which is quite wide, of where the dolls are stationed, will have their buff effect increased by 30%. Oh, you just got another subscriber. Thank you so much for that. If you like the content, if you like Zelda Soul Zero, please consider hitting the follow button yourself. So the second one, Master's Paragon. Upon entering combat or switching in, Rina's damage increased by 15% for 12 seconds. This effect can trigger once every 18 seconds. Now, this one doesn't do super much for like a supporty role, but it is a nice damage increase, and you will notice with Rina, like, it is very much her switching in, doing her stuff, and then getting out of dodge pretty quick. And third one, simple, increases everything's level by 2. Needle Hammer, Rina's energy regen increases by 0.5 seconds when both Drusilla and Anastella are deployed. The effect ends when Drusilla or Anastella returns to Rina. Now, this one is freaking amazing. Amazing. I don't have this yet, but like this will result in so much energy being accumulated by Rina. And it's freaking nuts. Like, I can't believe how freaking good they've made the cinemas of the like standard characters. When you're used to like playing Honkai or Genshin, like the standard characters always have a bit of a lackluster cinemas. Not this Endless, they don't. This Endless, they're just crazy. And number 5 increases levels by 2. The 6th one, when an EX special attack, chain attack, or ultimate hits an enemy, the entire squad's electric damage is increased by 15% for 8 seconds. Now, this might not look like much, and I'd honestly say that like, oh, the C1 or C4 is more valuable in general. Although if you're running an electric team, being able to increase electric damage by 15% is quite freaking nutty. And yeah, you pair that on top of like the set piece and whatnot, it's just a silly amount of damage overall that Rina is able to buff. Now, let's pop into team building. Now, Rina is blessed with having a very, very universal buff in pen ratio, which every single team is going to be able to make an immense use of. And for her best team currently, I would say it's Rina, Piper, and Grace. Now, Grace is second to none in building up Anomaly, or Anomaly build up for electric, and Piper is absolutely second to none with building up physical build up. Now, this is a very unconventional team. We have 1 support and 2 anomalies, and like, damn me, this is so freaking strong. If I really need to try hard, this is my second team in like the Shiyu defenses. Absolutely freaking busted. It triggers so many freaking reactions. It's borderline insane. Absolutely insane. And the Bangboos you want for this one is Electroboo or Plugboo, which I do not have. But Rina is super versatile. Obviously, this team makes use of her electric buffing. Now, we don't have many electric DPSs in the game yet, but they are coming. They are coming. So like, investing in Rina now is gonna pay off in the future. Like, there's gonna be even more better carries suited and released for her. Now, another team you can run is a team like this. Rina and Anbi triggers through the electric, and then Nekomata is triggered, like her passive is triggered by being paired up with Anbi. Now, in this team, I might still run Electroboo. You can also run the Cunning Hares one, what's it called? A Million? Yeah, those are gonna be your best bets. And obviously, in this case, enemies will still be shocked for longer, and like Anbi will be doing some more damage systems. Wait, I think my cat just dragged the mouse in. Give me 1 second. Ah, it false alarm. There was no mouse. She was just, I don't know, happy to be home.
Did you call me?
Yeah, so the main carry in this team, Nekomata, she doesn't necessarily benefit that much from having enemies being shocked. But it still works, and she benefits very much from having pen ratio. Another team you could be running could look something like this. Let's have Rina, and then we can take an Ellen and a Sokaku. Now, I run Rina, Ellen, and... No, sorry, I run Ellen, Sokaku, and Lycon normally. But if you don't have Lycon, Rina is an excellent substitute. Now, she is a maid, and so is Ellen, so their passive gets procced that way. And Ellen benefits immensely from having pen ratio. So this is not a bad one at all. Big whiffs. Thank you so much for the subscription. And yeah, people, hit that subscribe button if you want. I would appreciate it. And the best Bangbo for this would be Shark Boo or... Where is the little Dodger? Or Penguin Boo. So you're not bringing Rina into this because of like buffing electric, but for giving the rest of the team pen ratio. Like I said, some of her value will be lost as it and that will be the case with a lot of teams right now because we don't have a 5-star or sorry an S rank electric carry as of right now. But that does not mean you shouldn't be using Rina because she is freaking busted. Another team that's very freaking good could look something like this. Now, if you know how Anton works, he very much likes to be hitting shocked enemies. And having the enemies be shocked for longer is it is amazing for him. If you're running Anton as your carry in the team, I don't believe there is a better support in the game for him right now other than Rina. They are really, really freaking fun. I personally haven't built Anton yet because I'm busy building everybody else, and Anton has some drawbacks I might get into, but if you're running main carry Anton, this absolutely is a freaking goated team. And here, Electroboo or Plugboo would be the optimal thing. Yeah, like I could show off a billion different like teams that work for Rina. Basically, any freaking team works with Rina. Like, she will still be kind of the best support in any of the team simply because pen ratio is the freaking amazing one. Now, it's even better if it is an electric-based one because then you get her full potential. But even Rina at half potential is still like better than anything else currently. She is freaking goddamn amazing, and if you have not tried her out, please do so. Now, we're in the VR training room, and I'm gonna show off like how you should be using Rina. Now, also notice that Rina kind of thinks she's a dinosaur, and I find that kind of cute. That's why she rides around like this. I'm guessing. Now, you see the dolls? They're hanging out beside me. Let's send them in at the enemy. The doll is over at the enemy, we can see them here. And while the doll is away, we do have core passive mini destruction partner increases pen ratio by 19.88%, and this obviously goes up with investment. And I'm not sure if you understand how crazy much that is. That is such a big amount. Now we saw the doll pop away. I switched Rina, basic attack again. The dolls are out for a little bit, then they pop back. So as you can see, they're not out for long. So having like a quick swapping team where you kind of cycle through them, or a team that's like really good at stunning, might be a good idea. Now this team I'm running right here is lacking a stunner, which might not be the smartest way, but now we're using a skill and then we get Grace in. And as soon as the enemy breaks, like now, we switch to Rina, she does her skill, the dolls will be out, everybody else can like go. Breaking enemies quick is gonna be very, very nice. Like every quick assist you can do with Rina is cash money. And we saw the doll just disappearing there. Now imagine having a C1 and the dolls are out for 5.5 seconds more. Absolutely insane. Quick assist again, boom. This team you're seeing here, we're running very much a disorder team, like explained in the team building. So we want Grace to build up as much electric anomaly as possible and shock the enemy. Then we want Piper to go in and basically finish them off with her skill. All while hopefully being buffed with Rina's goodness. Now Piper can go in, still having the dolls out. And we trigger a massive disorder, a massive assault that would have been nothing close to that damage if it weren't for Rina. We see the dolls, we see the dolls. Oh, dolls are gone. So yeah, switch to Rina, quick, get the dolls out again. Like even, it depending on the situation, even like doing just like a casual switch, even if you don't have like a necessarily like good opportunity to do it, might be worth it. And Rina's ultimate. Absolutely freaking beautiful ultimate. I love it, love it, love it. And the ultimate will also prompt you to switch characters, switch into another character. And that is gonna be all I have to say about Rina. Follow the channel.